Hello, my question was, are y'all allowing taxis on the island? So I gather you are.
That's our intention, unless we...
Okay, let me ask a question. If you have to stop allowing taxis, because I am going to call in a cab to come and pick me up, and if the cab cannot get on the island, where over in Queens, how far can they come over?
And you know what, I'm glad you asked that question. It's a very fair question, and it's one of the reasons why we don't anticipate stopping a taxi or an Uber from coming on the island. It would have to be a serious chain of events. So, we just don't anticipate having to do that.
Okay, let me just ask.
The taxis, we didn't want to stop them because we know that the taxis and the Ubers, if they're coming on the island and leaving, we were trying to stop people from coming on the island and parking their cars or driving down to Cherry Blossom.
Okay, all right, thank you. I would like to know, are y'all going to be having a lot of events on this island now? Is this something that you're going to be seeing a lot during the summer?
No, we're not having a 4th of July event. We've got confirmation that the barges are south of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right, I read about that.
We have no other, well, Erica, do we have any other events coming up other than Roosevelt Island Day is really more of a community event.
Right, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people coming on like you had the Cherry Blossom and a whole lots of crowds of people.
We have nothing else. We have nothing else.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gwendolyn Riles. I'm with CERT in New York City Emergency Management Volunteers. CERT is Community Emergency Response Team. And I would like to say to some of the residents here is on Roosevelt Island Day, when we ask people to register to become a CERT member on the island, that is to help and assist any of the agencies here for the people on the island. Now, Roosevelt Island is now considered a tourist attraction area, so you're going to have a lot of people. And I am glad that RIA had decided to sit down with NYC and have a tabletop, because it seems like things cannot be done by yourself. And we are a CERT team, and we were not called in to help with the Blossom. We were here before for the 4th of July, and there are other CERT teams out there that can come in. So you have more agencies, because we are here to alleviate for other agencies. We are trained with NYPD. We are taught how to do certain things. And I was a traffic enforcement agent. And yes, traffic enforcement agents will be down in other streets telling cars, no, you cannot come on the island. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I want to get back to, and I'll take responsibility for the CERT teams not being deployed at the Cherry Blossom Festival. And I'm glad you brought it up. If you feel like we don't thank you enough, thank you again.
No, we just weren't called.
I had a discussion with Frank this afternoon. I was informed that CERT is now going to sector out the areas of CERT responsibility, so we'll be able to, I know selfishly, we'll be able to draw more CERT folks than we normally would. The other thing is, and I told Frank that I would call a CERT coordinator from OEM and kind of get the ball rolling, because it's getting late, people make plans and stuff like that, and I want to see how many people are available, and then we'll make a decision as to where to deploy. So we're on top of that, we appreciate it, and I apologize for not having you available on the Cherry Blossom Day.
Okay, thank you. The CERT coordinator was here tonight, correct? Wasn't the CERT from OEM?
No, not the CERT coordinator, but we did have the CERT. Yeah, so the CERT coordinator from Emergency Management did attend the previous meetings that we discussed. The first one with Commissioner Esposito, and then the ones with the other agencies. So the CERT coordinator from Emergency Management has attended those meetings, and I hope that you received the call down. I know that they discussed doing a call down, getting volunteers from CERT to be able to come out and assist during that weekend. So it's definitely a part of the plans.
Hi. So, Mariana from Figment, you had said that you know the people that come from Figment. My concern is that Governor's Island for the last 10, 12 years has hosted Figment going, the 10, 12 years. Governor's Island is about 172 acres around. Roosevelt Island is 142 acres. So even if you have the same amount of people from Governor's Island coming to Roosevelt Island, it still poses a problem with congestion. Now, the difference between Roosevelt Island and Governor's Island is the ease that it is to get to Roosevelt Island versus going to Governor's Island waiting for a boat. My concern is with Cherry Blossom, we expected 10, 15,000 people, 40,000 people came, which I understand was not an issue the day before. It was the morning of Saturday that a lot of other places such as Astoria, Manhattan, and Brooklyn, they canceled their Cherry Blossom. People being out, they came over to Roosevelt Island. During Cherry Blossom, the congestion of people on Main Street in the stores brought down the quality of life of Roosevelt Island residents. As Roosevelt Islanders, we're used to Saturday mornings being out at the park with our kids, most of our kids, or some of our kids playing baseball. Kids running around, there's extra strangers, people going in between the buildings, people trying to get in between the buildings. My daughter seeing people urinating in the bushes, which brings me to Figment, 12,000 people, let's average it off at 15,000 people. Do we have enough manpower at PSD to station it who understands the culture of Roosevelt Island and the quality of life that we're used to? Then, if we have 19, 20, 25 public safety officers working the extra Saturday and Sunday, what about the PSD budget? Then it comes in with the extra workers of REAC cleaning up after all of these transient people who really don't care about the island the way we do as islanders. How does that play into the quality of life for us that are here Sunday through Sunday, then with being down at Four Freedoms, selling a bottle of water for $5, then as a resident going into Duane Reade, looking for a bottle of water, a piece of iced tea, the shelves are cleared. What we experienced during the Cherry Blossom Festival of an elderly woman sitting in front of the bus stop in front of the church, hysterically crying because she couldn't get to her doctor's appointment, to my son paying a $30 cab, literally from the foot of the tram to the foot of the Queensbridge on the other side of the bridge, then having to walk home because the traffic getting onto the island not only backed up past Astoria Park, but into Manhattan itself. It's crazy that anyone is thinking of making Roosevelt Island a tourist destination when we are literally an island. You cannot make a left and go 3 blocks down and be into another neighborhood with another train station, another bus ride. Having 4 red buses roaming around the circle is not enough when people cannot always project what they need to do the next day. If you have to go to work and you have to wake up 3 hours earlier, why? Because there wasn't enough proper planning? What is anyone doing for the quality of life of the people that actually live here and have to go about their day-to-day life of whether going to the store to grabbing toilet paper, to getting across the bridge, to go to their doctor's appointment or to go to work, or letting their kid ride their scooter down the back road and not having to worry about someone drunk, which I want to bring up, RooseveltIsland.com. Because it seems like nobody knows about this.
No, I didn't know about it until you brought it up to me.
Roosevelt Island minus the O, a 3 olive vodka has been promoting coming to Roosevelt Island to open container drink and bring their flamingo floaty. Once people start learning and seeing what it is, the life that we lead on Roosevelt Island without the oversight of any other neighborhood, what are we going to do then? The more you promote this island and promote it in a way that we as residents don't feel safe, it's ridiculous. What am I supposed to do, keep my kids home? Saturday 1st, you have Roosevelt Island Little League, you have the Sheehy tournament, and now you have this. What stops it from going forward? What do you want from us islanders? We have a beautiful place to live for the last 35, 40 years. And each year, quality of life is just going down the drain because people want to put a flag on us. What stops it?
Well,
I'm
I
not
can,
sure that's a question to be answered.
okay.
I appreciate your opinion, and we are constantly reviewing these issues. We hope that this festival will add to your quality of life. If it doesn't,
How?
No.
Roosevelt Island, from my childhood,
Definitely
has been
not.
a place of arts.
look,
This is a hassle for the community. This is a hassle for the community. This is not for us.
if you truly don't want us to permit this kind of event, we
Yes.
have a board of directors that you can
Do you
speak
think
to.
that we believe in them? As many people
I
have
hope
stood
so.
up at board meetings.
One of your board members-
No. As many of us who have stood up at board meetings or said things directly to people that, you know what, we've been yes to death. Don't worry, we will bring it up at the
The
next meeting.
purpose, I'm happy to hear
You know what,
your view.
I respect you, true and true. I honestly do.
I truly believe the
I
quality
feel
of
as
life
though if you
on
grew up
this
here on
island.
Roosevelt Island, you would understand a bit more. The fact
I
that
spend a lot of time on this island.
spending time and making your life here is two different things. You
Look,
get
I
paid
don't
to
want to
come here
debate.
every day.
I truly don't want to debate with you. I will tell you this. I think the quality of life on this island is extraordinary.
Compared to what? When did you come here? I've been here for 40 years. What you
I'm
think
just
quality
telling
of
you
life
today.
what you
I
think
think
quality
this
of
is
life
beautiful.
is today compared to even 20 years ago is a 180-degree turn.
And
The
you have,
island used to
and
be
you
a
have the
familial
right.
place to live, and now it is a financial place.
You have the right to speak to your board of director members and have your opinion heard.
Oh, I thought my opinion was being heard here.
No, I'm listening to your opinion, but the purpose of this meeting was to share with you our plans for Figment. That was the purpose of this meeting.
How many porta
And
potties?
enough people have told you that your plans are not good enough.
It better be 120 porta potties.
Okay, hi, I'm Flora. I want you to come. You're not gonna like it first, but yes. My concern is the construction on the seawall behind Octagon. There's a lot of construction on the seawall from Octagon, and you can't do like a complete loop. And then there's construction that way that blocks you off. So there's a lot of construction going on. On that day, is it going to be fixed by then? Or, I mean, we have open, it's the whole, you can't, I exercise a lot, and you can't just go around. So, it's a lot. It's behind Octagon, the whole seawall. You have to go this way, that way, and then that way is cut off, the seawall there by the tennis courts. So how does that fit into the plan that day? Just curious.
No, that's a great question. The seawall railing project, I believe is what you're referring to, along the west side, that goes right behind Octagon Building.
It's been going on, but
Yes.
I don't know if it's gonna be cleared by then. I don't know, but I'm sure
It will
it's
be.
open seawall, so.
Yes, the seawall will be in place by then, so all the construction safety fencing will be removed. And on the east side, where they have been working on the area right across from the tennis courts, they're going to relocate that fencing to serve as a safety fence or a safety barrier against the seawall, so you'll be able to access both sides of the sidewalk.
Half a minute comment. I was riding my bike yesterday evening at the Lighthouse Park. Congratulations on the new tables and grills. They look fantastic. There is a water fountain, and I tried to use it, but there's no water. So before the Figment event, I think you should pay attention to make sure that all the fountains are working.
They got cancer in the pipes. You can't make them.
We don't have cancer in the pipes, but we're in
They
the
do.
process of
You
a
test
water.
it that way.
We're in the process of a water distribution system repair because of DEP code. There will be, I believe there will be water stations. Where will they be, Mary?
Yes, we'll have water stations, water fill stations set up throughout the park, and Figment has been actively promoting folks to bring their own fill containers. That also goes along with the sustainability effort of the festival.
You're not connecting hoses to the irrigation system, right? To fill the water containers, right? Okay.
Jimmy, do you know how many people have signed up so far to go for tickets? Oh, can you explain the ticketing policy?
Sure, I can say currently we have 661 people who have signed up for the Figment Festival to attend.
And do you need tickets to access Lighthouse Park?
Yes. Yes, you need a ticket to access Lighthouse Park.
I never heard the answer about the porta potties. How many did you guys say we were going to have? Sorry. The porta potties, I was just curious how many there were going to be. I know it was asked, but either I missed the answer or wasn't given.
If it's 12,000 people, you need 120.
Well, that's, I don't know.
No, we don't have 120, but I don't think the number is finalized yet.
Hi, my name's Ludin Simba. I came in 15 minutes late. Did you guys talk about the farmers market that Saturday?
The farmers market will be at the Chapel Plaza.
Okay, and they won't have any issue transportation-wise and selling their goods because, as the young lady mentioned, I agree, that is part of our community and we want to go about our daily lives, regardless of the
It's set up early enough that there should not be any issues.
Okay.
Is that correct, Jeff?
Not only that, there'll be public safety officer coverage as we do every week to ensure that there's no interruption. We have a very good dialogue with the fellow that runs the farmers market, and we haven't had an issue really since it's moved. I mean, there were a couple of things that were broken. I don't get that was repaired and paid for, but we've had no issues of confrontation, and we don't expect any. But we'll be on board there in uniform.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Okay, this is a public area, and people have the right to come on this island. You cannot prevent people from coming on the island. Okay, I understand people have been living here, things have changed. All over New York City, they're building, people are moving in from other states, so you have more population in New York City. Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, etc. So everybody just gonna have to prepare yourselves for more people on the island and join the surf team.
Hi, sorry. A parent just sent me a question, and it says, I live in Octagon, and we do own a car, and we do pay for the parking lot inside the Octagon building that has their own parking lot. Will I have any problems accessing the island by car, which I park in my own building, if I don't have a motorcade monthly registration?
That's a fair point. Glad you brought it up. And at the point of entry to the bridge, there won't be a problem. I'm just saying that there could be congestion that may delay them. But I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that we hadn't thought about yet.
Okay.
So they'll be on the list for access.
Okay, and the other question is like, I have a driver's license from another country because she's a diplomat. Will I have any problems not being identified as a Roosevelt resident?
Well, I mean, we're flexible.
Let them bring some proof that they live here.
Yeah, an electric bill or whatever it may be.
But we're hopeful that we don't have to turn any cars away. But in case, let them have some kind of proof.
Yeah, she just sent me the question. All right, thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm Lydia Tong, and I'm kind of making myself a little bit of a target because I ran the Cherry Blossom Festival, so that was but basically just the program part of it. And and so thank you very much for addressing all the other parts of it that I didn't have anything to do with. And but Sasha, I wanted to address what you said. Okay, all right. So I wanted to address what I love the fact that the Cherry Blossom Festival really does bring something cultural to Roosevelt Island. And the point of increasing the quality of life on Roosevelt Island is to bring something special, and I really do think Figment is something special as well. And so I applaud everybody's effort to make sure that these special things can be brought to Roosevelt Island without making a misery on the island. We don't want these special things to cost misery on the island. And I had no idea that the Cherry Blossom Festival was going to attract so many people.
Not true. Not true. You knew the day before.
Look, let's not.
Maybe you can talk about that
not.
afterwards together.
Okay.
But moving forward,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Moving forward, we will be taking a critical view and investigation, for lack of a better word, into these events, the larger events particularly. And it's all balanced with, you know, when I say public safety, I don't mean it as PSD, but when we feel that safety is going to be negatively affected, that's going to have a lot to inform whether a particular event is agreed to or not.
And Sasha, I would say that personally, there's no great desire on my part, and as long as I'm sitting in this chair, to bring large events to this island. That is not my purpose.
But didn't you say that this is a trial run to see how the island can
Well, to the extent that we do 4th of July.
That's contradictory.
No,
And
it's
you're
not.
willing
I'm not seeking, could you let me finish, please? I listen to you. I'm not seeking to bring large events every month, every week, whatever, every other month. This event seems extraordinary to me. What we've planned, as Commissioner Esposito said, is a test case for large events. Now, we will do 4th of July in the future. There's no question if there's a viewing, we're gonna do it. We may very well do Cherry Blossom. It's gonna be up to RIRA and REAC to discuss that before we decide to proceed. We haven't decided that yet. But I can rest assured, I will tell you, we will do 4th of July in the future. But in terms of a regular desire to bring in large events, that's not part of our mission or my purpose. So this happened to us, and I was thrilled because it sounded like an extraordinary family event. We're prepared for it. Let's see how it goes before we trash it.